Hello and welcome to Howzzat. Good morning to you, Vijay, my friend and colleague over a number of years. Lovely match from Chennai Super Kings perspective, but KKR will be heartbroken.
Yes, heartbroken, and for Chennai Super Kings, too good, too late, Rajaraman, and very good morning. We are in for some exciting cricket now, tonight and in the remaining days.
We got to see Jajdeja hit 2 sixes of the last 2 deliveries and take Chennai Super Kings over the line. It perhaps indicates of the nature of the tournament itself. We only know that Mumbai Indians has qualified at this point of time. The other 3 qualifiers are not known, and any of the 6 teams can make it to the playoffs, and that kind of sets a tournament up very nicely for the final stages.
Yes, we have seen this scenario many times in the past. I mean, if you remember, right, even the first tournament, it was so exciting, and this it is the nature of the tournament, the nature of the games that you get to a situation where maybe on the last day of the qualifying league stage, we'll get to know who plays the playoff.
Chennai Super Kings had a number of heroes, Vijay, last night. Ruturaj Gaikwad opening the innings and anchoring the side to a good score. And then Ravindra Jajdeja, of course, playing a blistering 31 of just 11 deliveries, including those 2 sixes in the final 2 deliveries that took Chennai Super Kings home. But then their bowling also will have to be complimented for having kept KKR down to manageable proportions.
Yes, but to me, I think what I liked most was this video where Shane Watson is speaking to Ruturaj Gaikwad and calling him a superstar of the future. So I think that was a very big statement to make. I'm not going to doubt Watson's judgment, but it's too early to judge Gaikwad's proficiency in the big league. This is he's got two back-to-back half centuries, fair enough, but we'll have to see how he performs at the first class cricket level.
Oh, I remember back in 2008, when IPL was first played, Shane Warne spoke very highly of Ravindra Jadeja. And here is another Shane talking about a young batsman. He's 23 now, though Ruturaj Gaikwad has been around for some time, has played decent cricket already, and looks promising to go the distance. It depends on how he's groomed and what kind of opportunities he gets.
Absolutely, he is looking good. He has the talent, no doubt. But you will have to give him at least one good season of first-class cricket to judge his ability at the highest level. Here you're playing a 20-over game, and when you get to play a 50-over match or even a 5-day match, the temperament comes into play, the skills come into play. It's a different ball game. So I will not rush into judging how good or bad Gaikwad is, because we have seen Rajaraman during this IPL history of IPL tournaments. So many players have come and gone. There was talk of all these players doing very well, and somebody called Praveen Tambe also came, and there was talk of he playing for India. So I think people, I'm not casting any aspersions on Watson's judgment. He is an absolutely a top class professional, but I'll wait as far as Gaikwad is concerned.
I think Watson got to see it for himself. He was given the opportunity to watch Ruturaj Gaikwad from across the length of the pitch by Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Stephen Fleming. Quite a surprising decision it was to see him play instead of Faf du Plessis, who's had a very consistent and very good season for Chennai Super Kings. But Watson got to see him from close quarters. That partnership of 50 for the opening wicket, Ruturaj Gaikwad dominated that, and Watson really must have become a fan of Gaikwad's batting at that point of time.
Yeah, nothing wrong. I mean, he's delivered. He's delivered in the last two games. You agree? Even I'll become a fan of Gaikwad because his batting. If you see, again, I would like to quote Mr. Gavaskar, who was talking about his shots, the shots he was picking, the shots he was playing, very proper cricketing shot with straight bat and placing them so well. So I'll be very, very happy to see Gaikwad turning out and playing Test cricket for India.
Let's watch what Coach Stephen Fleming has to say about Ruturaj Gaikwad.
Very good. I think he certainly passes the eye test, doesn't he? He's got lovely timing and very fluent player, and that allows him to hit the ball in gaps and with a lot of power for a slight guy. So his net sessions have been very good. His net sessions in Chennai before we arrived were outstanding, and we were collectively all disappointed that he had to miss the first 2 or 3 weeks with us. So we're just pleased that he's showing his class, but we knew it already. In some ways, it's probably not a great thing as we go into an auction. Yeah, he's done well. He's done well the last couple of games. So we're really happy that he's taken the opportunity. I guess we look back at the missed opportunity was when he got COVID. So he missed our pre-season. He came back, obviously, after about 4 or 5 weeks in isolation and just well off the mark. We tried to play him and get him involved, but he was a long way from being ready. So we're just happy now that we've been able to create an opportunity, and he's shown us that he was the right player when we'd earmarked him. Yeah.
There was a small contribution from Ambati Raidu as well, helping Gaikwad get a substantial stand for the second wicket after Shane Watson fell. And that kept Chennai Super Kings in the hunt before the 2 spinners for KKR came into play. We got to see a very good spell from Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narayan playing a supporting role, unable to take a wicket, but playing a very good supporting role and keeping a check on Chennai Super Kings. But Ambati Raidu played a very good hand yesterday, Vijay, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That's what he's supposed to do. I mean, he's been an underachiever, if you ask me, Ambati Raidu. He started off so well. And I can never forget, Rajaraman, you were there at the press conference where Greg Chappell, when he was taking over as coach of Indian team, he spoke of Ambati Raidu. I mean, imagine, I mean, he believed so much in his potential, and he's been an underachiever, but good. He gave an opportunity to Gaikwad, and here I'll add one more thing about Gaikwad. Very good for him. It came with he recovered from a COVID affection, and then he overcame a first ball dismissal, if you remember, to his IPL in this campaign. So yes. Full marks to Raidu, because he was the one who kind of inspired Gaikwad last night.
I think he jumped out first ball to leg spinner Rahul Tewatia, if I remember right, and was stumped in his opening game. Everyone thought that this boy lacked temperament, but when he got the opportunity to open the innings, Vijay, he has shown himself as belonging to this league, belonging to the highest level. We got to see whether he has the temperament to play international cricket. Time will tell us, but he looks good at the moment. Also, from Chennai Super Kings perspective, it was crucial that Ravindra Jajdeja come good last night. He's had a good season as a finisher and showed one more time why Chennai Super Kings bank so much upon him.
Oh yes, I mean all these years, Rajaraman, we have seen how Jadeja. I mean, he was a bits and pieces player for some people, but he has proved that he is not a bits and pieces player. He has done exceptionally well in first-class cricket, in Test cricket. Also, he is turned out to be a good all-rounder, right? He can qualify as an all-rounder. So here you are right about he being a finisher. He never lost hope. He never lost hope, and that speaks for his temperament and confidence in how he backs himself.
Chennai Super Kings managed its chase very well, Vijay, especially after a great first over from Pat Cummins, easily one of the best fast bowlers going around. After a great first over, and then we got to see 2 quality spin bowlers. Of course, Sunil Narayan, his action has changed. He's got a very stiff arm now, even from the time that he's loading up, and obviously that has taken some of his effectiveness away. But to see him and Varun Chakravarti bowl 8 very good overs and concede not very many runs was good for Kolkata Knight Riders. But Chennai managed that really well.
Yeah, that phase where the spinners were in action, I think Kolkata could have backed themselves to win the contest. And yes, after that fantastic over from Cummins, he is an exceptionally good bowler. I mean, you understand why he was bought for such a high price. And for Kolkata, he's been a critical bowler. But yeah, Nareen with his change in action, Varun Chakraborty now with his newfound confidence after being picked for India team. They had the wherewithal to stop Chennai Super Kings, but not once Gaikwad and Ambati Raidu got to settle down, and then Jadeja provided the fantastic finish.
Varun Chakravarti will remember the two deliveries that he bowled to Mahendra Singh Dhoni and got his wicket in two different games, obviously. He bamboozled the former India captain, someone who can play spin pretty well. First with a googly in the earlier game, and then in the return match, one with that just held its line and went to hit the top of leg stump. Uh, Both Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Varun Chakravarti, more likely Varun Chakravarti, are not going to forget these two deliveries in a hurry.
Definitely not. Dhoni may forget, but Varun will always remember because to get such a fabulous batsman out and fox him, like you say, with the googly and then one which held its line, it means a lot because it's not very easy to fool Dhoni on the pitch.
On a night when the dew came in and handicapped the KKR bowlers midway through the innings, he showed remarkable control, Varun Chakravarti did. And then KKR's fast bowlers struggled to contain the later order batsmen. We got to see Lockie Ferguson slip a full toss and concede a few runs. He bowled a great over. The first half of his final over was terrific. And then he conceded 17 runs off his last three deliveries, including a beamer that he did not intend to bowl at Ravindra Jadeja.
Yeah, it was, so what should I say, surprising or shocking to or disappointing for KKR to see Ferguson at such a critical stage, such a crucial stage, produce such an expensive over. I mean, I don't know what he was trying to do. One can understand both trying to attempt a Yorker and then you end up bowling full toss. But this was very poorly directed deliveries and I think it cost the match.
And there was a stroke of luck, of course, for Chennai Super Kings. Jadeja edging one to the third man fence. It was quite a strange shot to see. But Chennai Super Kings was in a mood to take runs from whichever direction they came in. And Jadeja became quite the hero. But let's look at Nitish Rana, Vijay. He's somebody who played a very good knock yesterday. One more time, he's been consistent for KKR this season. One of the few Indian batsmen for KKR who has come good throughout the season, got a good half century and then had to end up on the losing side.
Yes, unfortunate for him that he ended up on the losing side after producing such a sterling innings. I mean, if you see, he took it upon himself the responsibility of carrying the innings, and he did. He almost delivered. Got out at the wrong time. I mean, if he had lasted a couple of more overs more, he would have taken the game away from CSK. But Rana again has proved he's a good talented cricketer in Delhi. Of course, I mean today he carries as Delhi skipper in Ranji Trophy. He carries a lot of responsibility. This season would be very crucial for him. But I would like to see him improve this season and knock at the selection for India team.
Vijay, when he was batting, it seemed that Chennai Super Kings would struggle to contain him. He looked in very good touch. But then KKR seemed to have gifted away the momentum by sending in young Rinku Singh at the fall of the second wicket. You would have thought that the captain would put his hand up, Eoin Morgan, and walk in himself. You thought that Dinesh Karthik, who has been preferred to play that role, would have been sent in. But to see Rinku Singh sent in to take the pressure on at that point of time was quite shocking.
Definitely, very ill-advised move, and I don't know. I mean, who are we? If think tank which involves Dinesh, Karthik, and Morgan, if they come up with such a move to bring in Rinku, he is a good batter of the ball. I've seen him in domestic cricket. We're playing for Uttar Pradesh, but this was not the stage for him, and the pressure got to him, and the momentum was broken.
Chennai Super Kings did well, Vijay. We must give credit to Chennai Super Kings. They preferred the left-arm spinner. They did not have an off-spinner to go against the left-handedness of KKR. There were so many left-handers at the top of the order, and it would have been difficult. But Mahendra Singh Dhoni pressed on both Ravindra Jadeja and Mitchell Santner to good effect at this point of time.
Yeah, Jadeja, of course, can bowl at any in any condition of the game, any situation of the match. But Santner, I mean, you look at good old style, old world left-arm spinner. I've loved his bowling always, and it is just that he got to play late or whatever the combination the CSK had. He would have served the team much better if he had been playing regularly, and he can bat too.
Both the captain, Eoin Morgan, and chief mentor, David Hussey, kept talking about how 170 was par for the track, given the fact that dew was going to come in later, and they probably had evidence of dew already at that point of time. 170 was just about challenging. It was not a winning score for by any yardstick, Vijay.
Yeah, but if I mean, if you look at it, Rajaraman, if that Ferguson had bowled to his potential as he has been in the previous games, I can't I can't imagine CSK would have got to the winning line. It was just that one crucial over which cost the team.
The kind of intensity that we got to see from Chennai Super Kings, like you said, slightly late in the day, but you did not get to see it as far as KKR is concerned. They tried very hard, but a team which is trying to qualify, you wanted the team to put in that bit extra effort. Let us watch what David Hussey has to say, both about what went wrong in this game and then the qualification scenario that is quite tough for KKR at this point of time.
Yeah, obviously every game you go into, you're planning to win the game. Unfortunately, we finished second today, beat by a better team. What went wrong? I think a few things. The toss definitely didn't help. I think chasing lots of dew around, probably couldn't quite grip the ball, but can't take too much credit away from Chennai. I thought they played and chased a decent total that we put on the board. Yeah, we've put ourselves in this position by losing games, unfortunately. But yeah, we're still breathing, but only just in the competition. I think the next game against Rajasthan, in a few days' time, we're going to really rest up, recharge the batteries, and come out and just play some free-flowing cricket. And you just never know what could happen. A few results go our way, and we can shock a few teams in the playoffs.
What Chennai Super Kings did, Vijay, last night was while it knew that it was out of the tournament already and had only a couple of games left, the formalities to be completed, it made things very complicated for KKR. For it to qualify now from this position is going to be a tough ask. We have a scenario where more than 4 teams cannot get to 16 points, and that enabled Mumbai to get in. So that brings us to a very interesting question, Vijay. This one comes to us from Aman Agarwal from the North Tangang, Mumbai.
So as you know, out of 56 league matches, we have already surpassed 48 matches. But we still are not sure about the top 4 teams who will be qualifying for the playoffs. So based on the current form and the current strength of the teams, which teams do you feel will make it into the playoffs? And my second question would be, as the playoffs will be held in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, so according to you, how do you feel will the pitch behave during the playoff matches? And according to that, what can be the best playing 11 which the team should come up with? And what will be the average score scored by each team?
Thank you, Aman, for your question. I'm not very comfortable answering it because I'm not an astrologer. But from what I can kind of see, Mumbai Indians has already made it. RCB, Royal Challengers Bangalore and Delhi Capitals look likely, and I think Kings 11 Punjab are very well placed. So you can always back Rajasthan Royals, you can always back Sunrisers Hyderabad, whichever team wins the next 2 games with big margin, improve the run rate. There's so too many ifs and buts. But for me, if I have to pick the 4 for the playoffs, it will be Mumbai Indians, Kings 11 Punjab, Delhi Capitals, and Royal Challengers Bangalore. And I would love to hear from you, Rajaraman, your analysis of the second question, where which I'm very happy to deflect to you because it's a very difficult one.
Vijay, I must confess, I'm not an astrologer either. There is no crystal ball here. How does anyone predict a par score for any pitch before either you have seen the pitch or you have seen the team composition? It is far-fetched to imagine par scores at this point of time for both Abu Dhabi and Dubai. While it is a great question, while students of cricket will want to know what are the likely scenarios in the playoff, you have to wait and watch. Some of the pitches have sported a green tinge. Some of the pitches have begun to crack. They are tired. And so if you get a score of 170, 180, it should set up a good game. You don't want a situation where a team races off to 220 like Sunrisers Hyderabad did in the last game and make a one-sided game of it. You want close contest, and you will get to see in the playoffs scores around 180 or so, and hopefully there will be some quality matches as well. Very tough to say what kind of strategies team will adopt, Aman, because at this point of time, their focus is entirely on qualification, and so should be ours.
Rajaraman, would you like to add the role of spinners in the playoffs?
Of course, they have already come into play. You got to see a number of quality spinners, especially the ones who are able to extract turn of these slow pitches, but also bowl very quick. We got to see Varun Chakravarti do that to Mahendra Singh Dhoni yesterday. Was 107 kilometers per hour delivery, was bowling consistently at around 90 kilometers, and then slipped in this faster one that foxed even Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So spinners will play a big hand, but then the faster bowlers, especially with the new ball, you would want them to take wickets and push the opposition to the back foot. Vijay, we now move on to tonight's game. Should be a cracker of a contest, given the fact that Kings 11 Punjab is the team that is in form. Remember, they were at the bottom of the table with just 2 points at the halfway stage. Now they are in with a chance to make it to the playoffs. They are up against Rajasthan Royals, which started off very well and has slipped down a little bit. But Ben Stokes getting 100, Vijay, I think that sets up a very good match tonight.
Rajaraman, the scenario, the pre-match scenario means that Rajasthan Royals has to win the game. They will come very hard at Kings 11 Punjab. So that makes it the favorite team because they will play only and only. Of course, everybody plays to win, but here they have to play, definitely have to win. So it's going to be an intense contest. And Rajasthan Royals, I'm sure every player will be eager to give his best, beginning with Ben Stokes.
Ben Stokes or Chris Gayle, we'll have to wait and watch. Of course, we'll also watch out for Mayank Agarwal's fitness and whether he's back on the field tonight, Vijay. On that note, thank you very much for being here today as always, and it's been fun chatting with you.
Oh yes, absolutely. And I hope our viewers are happy with just the cricket discussion. We were trying our best and we could be wrong at times, but I've enjoyed these sessions very much.
Thank you very much, Vijay. Have a lovely day.